Right, good afternoon guys. Sorry for the lack of videos from this channel. Today I will show you the attic I am in at the minute, which is storing all of my soldiers. So I'll give you a run through of all the soldiers I have. Let me just get to the bit and then I'll swing the camera around for you. Okay, so this is the French shelf. So this all has French soldiers on it and some of the French allies. So here we have Napoleon, which is an Italia figure, and his generals of staff. This is Airfix's figures as a brigade, because the ruling for black powder is that you play it in a brigade. So for example, this brigade, this is one brigade, that is another brigade, and then you've got all the other brigades down, going all the way down. Say on the British side, it's all that way, so you still got infantry. That's all the other infantry. Here we have some more infantry and some. The camera will focus. I don't think so. Basically, that is, what was it? Imperial Grenadier French Guards. All the way to there. You got some cavalry, so made up of some dragoons and some cuirassiers. And then you got all the guns, the French, the Poles, and some more guns and stuff. Here we have the British Tower. So we've got Wellington there. However, there is two Wellingtons. That's Wellington for if I'm doing a major battle where I've got to have two Wellingtons. He's the one that's in charge, will now become another general, because I've actually got a Wellington right here. This is the black powder Wellington, or wargames. Wellington, which is basically, he's got a staff rating of 9, so yeah. So then here we've got the rest of them. There's some other British, which are like Italia ones. Here we've got more British, and right at the back where these flags are, these are the warlord ones. So we've got the second and third foot guards, which are the Scots, and the Coldstream Guards, because the Coldstream Guards, because the first battalion is the Grenadier Guards, because they're the oldest regiment that we're continuous service in the British Army. They're also part of the Household Cavalry or Household Brigade, so which is made up of. It's made up of the Household Brigade is made up of. I'm just going to set the camera down for a bit. Right, the Household Brigade is made up of 5 infantry units, which is Scots, Coldstream, Grens, and Irish and Welsh. They're the 5 main groups of infantry that fight battles. 3 of those groups are pre-1900, which is when the last 2 got set up. The last one got set up in 1900, which was the Welsh Guards, and then in 1915 the Irish Guards then joined. But the 3 before that were the Scots, the Coles, and the Coldstream, and the Grenadier Guards. All 3 of them served at Waterloo. That's why I've got 3 them battalions, but they're also known as the 1st Battalion. 1st Battalion, 1st Regiment of Foot. Even if they are different battalions, they're still known as the 1st Battalion. And then part of the Household Brigade is you've got 2 sets of cavalry. You've got the Blues and Royals, and you've got the Life Guards, which used to be many years before there was 2 sets of the Life Guards. There was the 1st Squadron of Life Guards, which was the crepes. Can't remember now. First squadron, which was made up of probably about 150, 160 men, and they were part of the first squadron. And then you had the second squadron of lifeguards, but then they amalgamated to become one one unit together about 18 prior to Waterloo, so probably during the Peninsular War and everything that they amalgamated. And then you had the Blues and Royals, who were a different unit and had different colour schemes, different uniform, everything. They came in to part of the Household Brigade. You then also have the King's Royal Horse Artillery. That is still technically part of the Household Cavalry or Household Brigade because of it being part of the brigade. It's like a special pristine unit that uses World War One type guns to do significant events, as you saw with the news of sadly the Queen passing away. They fired 96 rounds off, or 96 shells were fired. They were from Household Cavalry. You had guys firing them at the Tower, St James's Park, well, not St James's Park, but Hyde Park, Edinburgh Castle, Cardiff Castle, all around England and Wales and Scotland and Ireland were firing guns off, which were part of the units, different areas. But in the London per se, you had the King's Royal Horse Artillery, which were firing the guns off. But going back to the figures, we have the Hussars. These are the light cavalry unit. You can't really see it because it's so dark behind there. And then you have, these are the lifeguards. These are the first squadron of lifeguards. The one so I'm painting at the minute are the second squadron, because there's two squadrons of lifeguards. Then you have, or will be, if we've got lifeguards here, I'll make them Blues and Royals or something, I don't know what. Yeah, but then you have, down here you have all of the Scots Greys. These are also over on that table, on that massive figures there as well, because I've got two sets of them as well. You've got some other Hussars down here, and you've got the guns. These are 6 or 9 pounders. You've also got, buried in between the Scots and the English, you have an elite units which are known as the 95th. So the 95th Rifles are a pristine unit based that do military back in the day of the horse and musket period. So basically the black powder era, you had the normal units that would fight in bog standard lines, firing off brown bess muskets as a group. They'd fire, they'd shoot, they'd load everything, because they were the standard units. You then had your specialist units like your engineers, your sappers and everything. And one of those specialist units was the 95th Rifles and the 5th 60th Regiment, but that was the American War of Independence, American War of 1812, so that was America. But the pristine unit for the Brits were primarily for the Peninsular War and Waterloo was the 95th Rifles. They fought with Baker Rifles. They didn't fight with brown bess muskets. If you've ever watched the show Sharp, and I would highly recommend, if you haven't watched it, to go and find it. I think they're on YouTube. They're about an hour to an hour and a bit long, and they show you how they fight. That unit particularly is a light unit, so that's made up of light infantry soldiers that are fast and easy enough to take the French on their own and win, because they can fight hiding behind trees, going got ya, bang, and shooting them, because they are good at it. Apart from that, normally certain units will stay in line. Within wargaming, that is, I have 3 sets of 95th Rifles. I have The Italia ones, the Warlord Games ones, which are about 16 figures roughly, and my Wargames Atlantic figures. 2 of those units are set on single bases, like about 25 by 25 mil bases. They are used for primarily skirmishing. They will be my skirmish troops. They will go out, skirmish in front of the enemy, and cause carnage. There is one unit in the Italia set which is on its own little base, and they are the Chosen Men. So if I was going to play a say Peninsular War battle or a battle pre-Waterloo, and I wanted the Chosen Men, I would use them because they're all 7 of them. You've got Sharp, Hagman, Harris, Tonks, Harper, and everybody else. But if I wanted to do Waterloo, I would use only the 4 from the Wargames Atlantic figures, because I've got the Baker rifle in there, or the knot gun in there for Harper. So I will show you guys them figures in a minute, but at the present time we're going to get onto the tower that's behind me and the other towers and see what we've got on there. See you in a bit. Okay, welcome back, guys. Right, so we're on this tower here behind what is my English Electric Lightning aircraft. So we have some more guns. This is the Warlord gun, so that's a 6-pounder. And then you've got some Belgian Dutch artillery, some casualty guns, some knives. Here we start getting into the more Waterloo Wargame Gamesy one. So here we have the Hanoverians. They're like a German unit. You've got some French. These are the Chasseur Chevalier Cavalry. They are a light cavalry unit that was easily fightable. Then we have the King's German Legion 5th Battalion. Then we have the 23rd Regiment of Foot. That is the I forgot it. Royal Welsh Fusiliers. That cube my brain. Slowly going dead. And then you've got the 27th Inskin Regiment. So we've got some more Hanoverians down here. This is a 9-pounder gun, and then some other ones as well. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Sorry about the delay, guys. So oh yes, we were down here. So here we have the Scots Grey. Oh, it's not Scots Grey. It's the 95th Rifles Warlord ones, which are like that. So yeah, and then we have Scots Greys and then the 4th, some heavy dragoons, the officer, some more French, and all that. Up here we have the Prussians, led by Marshal Blucher, and then that's all the Prussians here, and basically there as well. Here you have the start of what the farmhouse looks like, so that's my hand. You can see how big it is, but in fact when I fight I can take the roof off. That door is pushed ajar open, so that can be then pushed fully open. You've got a shot hole here and here, a bit more of the building, and down there. That's what I'm working on at the minute, which is the stables for the barn. So then this can come off as well and get in so you can fight in. Here we got some figures I've just done. I've been working on. That's Wallington sleeping. This is a limited edition figure. So that came in the Albion Triumph from Volume 2 book. And then you got Picton, and then that's Wellington that I showed you earlier. Those are the figures I've still got to do. This is the cacophony of mess that is called my painting table. Paintbrushes, everything. That's the horses I'm painting. They're figures that I'm going to need to do. Those 2 figures I'm keeping aside because I'm going to do a special video for those two, and maybe a special video from those two as well. Where was it? Here we have the coffee mess that we call the cabinet. Here we've got reference books and the rule books and everything. So we've got Black Powder, the main rules, Albion Triumphant Volume 2, the Quickfire rules, La Haye Farm stuff, my rules I created, another set of rules I need to play, the Waterloo DVD, which is a good film to watch, some more books, rifles, some of the Wargames Illustrated magazines, some other books, uniforms, creating the Napoleonic Army and the Grenadier Guards. And then below that is basically, it's a bit stiff, is all the bits for each soldier, so like spares, heads, spare arms, spare bodies, God knows what else. In this drawer we've got the spares from the Wargames Atlantic figures where we didn't need them, so I still built them, but they're spares in case we need them. So that's like one that's unpainted, and yeah. And then in this tower we've got, this mess is basically my basing and how I base everything. In here we've got all the bases, so they're pre-made bases that I'll probably use them. Those two are different size bases, and you've got my cavalry bases, a bit of my infantry bases, some of the bases, and that used to hold all my small bases. In here is my dice mats, and then below that are the flags to keep them safe. That's normally where I store the boxes ready for that I need to sort or cut out and sort. Up here, my phone, and up there is another load of mess. This is all like the reference materials. That's a reference sheet with a notepad behind it, note piece of paper, and then we've got all the other bases, like hexagonal bases for officers, top of the cavalry one, and then some boxes for other things. On this one we have a bunch of blue tack. The reason for that is I use the blue tack to put the flags on their glued to their flag posts into here, and they stay in here whilst I paint the soldiers, and then once they're based and everything and they're on the shelf, they come out of here, they go on to the standard bearers, and the standard bearers then carry them around the back, and then they're on them ready to go. Some of them I've had to super glue in place, but others I haven't had. So then in here we've got corks that I use, more corks. This is my nice bases, which are the Citadel colour ones that I got from the game shop. That's the rubbish bin, as I call it. Here we've got some more stuff. This is a sprue from Warlord. I haven't had a chance to do it because I don't do well action, but this is the Italian army, and then some templates if I need to make quick bases up, them ones. Another specialist figure that I probably won't paint, or I might paint, I don't know when. But it's a specialist horse, some other useless pots of information. Here's where I keep all the spare bags, and then these are the bags of soldiers I've got stuff in them. In there's all the boxes like that, and then that one, just put stuff in here. On there is just labels, so I keep stuff. This here is, they are the soldiers. So this is how it comes from Warlord from the factory. So they're basically on sprues, and then you've got 5 figures, 5 sets of backpacks, and a multitude of different heads that you can choose from. And then in this one is what would be the cavalry, but because there's no cavalry in this set, there is not. This is the set I got for my birthday, or for Christmas. It is the La Haye Farm battle set, and so you can see all of the building and everything and the figures. That's all of that. This is all cabling and God knows what. My nice socks. this is part of the construction for the farm. Some other sets I have, bit of that, and that's really about it, guys. The rest of it's normally like airfixy related stuff that I do. It's not like wargaming per se, but apart from that, that's about it. I'm just going to move over to my little temporary, well, standy thing I've put on. I can use to put the camera on. Yeah. So that's about it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video will go up either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on when I get down to editing it. There will be another video that's going up in commemoration of the release of the new film Avatar 2. So stay tuned for that one. It is an analysis on the film. If you want another analysis of any other films, say Armageddon, Transformers, The Final Countdown, I will more than happily do it. Just leave a commenty thing down below and I will do that. But apart from that, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.